Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Wolverine, the Jungle Adventure, written by Walter Simonson, and fantastic art by Mike Mignola. When I was a kid, when I started collecting comic books, like the first time I went to my local comic book shop, I remember seeing this issue on display at the front window. So by that time, I already knew who Wolverine was, but I had no idea who's that blue dude he was battling against with the big A. Later on, I would discover that blue dude on the cover was Apocalypse. And the weird thing is that for some reason, I never got around to buying this issue or ever downloading it. And to my very pleasant surprise, very recently, I purchased this compilation of Wolverine stories, and it was smack in the middle. And I have to say, what a weird story we have here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the story actually starts off with Wolverine. He has traveled to the Savage Land. It sort of establishes at first that he goes there because he had lost this lighter that was given to him by Nick Fury. We have this whole situation where we have this local tribe from the Savage Land that it's very reminiscent to The Gods Must Be Crazy, for anyone who has seen that movie. I have to say that I've been reading a lot of comic books from this time, and there's a lot of stories with cavemen or wild tribes or uncontacted people. It's so weird. It's like all the writers and the illustrators all of a sudden had a subscription to National Geographic or something like that. And they're like, holy crap, I have to add something like this into my stories. So the thing is that the people at this tribe think that Wolverine is like this deity and they revere him, but they also want to test him. Before I go on, I have to say that Mignola's art is just fantastic. He does a really great Wolverine. So we have this trial combat where Wolverine fights the strongest member of the tribe. The combatant's name is Gak. That later on we're going to discover it's not a he, because at first it seems it's a he, it's a she. Later on in the story, when Wolverine discovers that Gak is a woman, they sort of hit it off and they pal around during this whole story. So the thing is that Wolverine sticks around with this tribe because actually he has gone to the Savage Land not only for the lighter. He was attacked back in New York City by one of these tribesmen that somehow he got out of Savage Land, and he had like all these cybernetic augmentations. So Wolverine's there to investigate that. And when Wolverine's with this tribe, what happens is that he discovers that this mystery monster has been picking off one member of the tribe at once. So what happens is when Wolverine confronts this monster, it's this giant T-Rex. We get a pretty cool battle. And the thing is that Wolverine is eaten by the T-Rex, but Logan pulls off the classic, I'm going to slash my way out of your stomach bit. And the thing is that he discovers that this T-Rex is not a real T-Rex, it's a cyborg. So the thing is that Wolverine's able to find the space. He breaks in. He discovers it's like this weird laboratory. And the person using this laboratory is Apocalypse, who's running experiments on the captured cavemen. And obviously he's the one giving them those cybernetic augmentations. So here's the part of the story that sort of caught me off guard, because when Apocalypse realizes that Wolverine's there, confronts him, the way he talks and what he's going for was sort of weird, because he talks about how he has to make humans better to deal with mutants and to destroy all mutants. And I thought to myself, that's not Apocalypse's gist. And also I thought it's Walter Simonson, like Louise Simonson and Walter Simonson sort of like co-created Apocalypse. He should know how to write this character. But what happens is, obviously both characters enter the battle. Also, I must add that Apocalypse had taken Gak as a hostage by this moment. So we get this pretty cool battle. Wolverine's hacking and slashing at Apocalypse. And Apocalypse is not using his powers. And then we discover that this is not the OG Apocalypse. This is like a robot. which he's able to defeat. And then what happens is that the real Apocalypse just manifests in the middle of the laboratory as a hologram. And thanks Wolverine, because this robot was actually sent there to do some investigations, and due to radiation and other factors, the robot sort of went rogue. And the OG Apocalypse had to deal with this issue, but he didn't want to do it himself, so he sort of pointed Wolverine in the direction. He was the one that sent that cyber caveman to attack Wolverine back in New York. And Apocalypse seemingly was the one able to steal Wolverine's lighter and give it to this tribe. Like, it seems very convoluted, the whole situation. But the thing is that Wolverine went in, did Apocalypse's dirty work. He seems to be pretty happy with the results. And the thing is that while in the laboratory, Wolverine finds a adamantium skull. So we're not sure if the robot Apocalypse or the original one was interested in investigating adamantium and wanting to create a adamantium skeleton, possibly. It also seems very apparent that Wolverine was already on Apocalypse's radar, and possibly this was a whole test for him. Because way down the line, 10 years later, during the 12 crossover, Apocalypse actually gives Wolverine back his adamantium skeleton that he had lost during Fatal Attractions, and converted Logan into the Horseman of Death. It's like the only moment of that story that I actually liked. So what happens is Wolverine's lighter actually was like this explosive device, and he uses it to destroy Apocalypse's laboratory. He leaves the Savage Land. At the end of the story, we also discover that Wolverine had a kid with Gak. Like, he's totally oblivious of the situation. So I guess up until this day, Wolverine has one of his kids romping around the Savage Land. I wonder if that kid ever resurfaces in any Wolverine stories after this, because I've never seen him. So we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.